Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm Joe PT, and for today what we have here is Bayonetta. Bayonetta was developed by Platinum Games and it's using their in-house engine. So Bayonetta was initially released in 2009 for the PS3 and Xbox 360, but now after 8 years after the initial release, more than less 8 years, Sega decided to release this game to the PC, and obviously the game is not as much demanding as I was expecting, because it's an old game, so there is nothing to be demanding about, at least on my desktop. But unfortunately, on this laptop the story was a little bit different for the worse. So as you can see, this is the presets where you can choose from. I decided to change a little bit the presets to something a little bit more realistic for this laptop. For example, for the eye settings, I didn't use multi-sampling anti-aliasing. Well, keep in mind that anti-aliasing by now is not working by the time of the video, but I decided to use anisotropic 4 for the eye settings. I left the shadows on and SSIO quality on eye, so it was pretty much maxed out, with the exception of the texture filtering that was AF4, and no anti-aliasing because it isn't working. For the median settings, what I used was the textures on eye. I disabled entirely super sampling ambient occlusion, okay, and I dropped the same way as the eye settings, the anisotropic filtering to 4. As for the low settings, I just put everything on the minimum, with exception for the textures. So I always kept the textures on eye because we have the VRAM for that, and that really makes a difference regarding quality. There is no reason to not use the textures on eye quality. But for this video, what we'll be using to play this game will be the median settings, my vision of median settings, and my median settings is HDR on, no SSIO, shadow quality set to median, anisotropic filtering on 4, and texture quality on eye. Well, I guess I have made a mistake. I mean shadows on low. I decided to use shadows on low. Yes, I guess it was it. Yep, shadows on low. The median settings contains shadows on low, not at median, okay? The shadows on low are a match to what PS4 and the Xbox 360 was, okay? So what I'm going to do by now is to play the game in the intro section, which is very demanding, and I will play a little on the prologue. After that, you can enjoy the results. We could talk a little bit about the results on the description of the video, because you have there on the description of the video some results without recording, and by the end of the video I will talk a little bit about those results like I usually do in all the videos. So with that, I do hope that you enjoy the rest of the video. If you are interested in buying Bayonetta, you can buy it through Steam. There is a link on the description. Also, there is another link on the description for the Kinguin, which if you buy through Kinguin, through that link you will be directly supporting the channel, but buy only if it is more cheaper, because in some countries Steam is more expensive, others not, so keep that in mind. And with that, hope you enjoy the rest of the video. I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Defended the just passage of time. Yet one day, that balance was toppled. The once harmonious clans fell into disagreement and stoked the flames of hatred against each other, resulting in an era of strife. The conflict between the Umbra and the Lumen threw all of Europe into a chaotic loop of battle, ambush, assassination, and casualty. It was truly a gruesome war. Despite the tremendous radiance of God shining upon them, the Lumen sages were gradually weakened by the assault of the secretive Dark Witches. Years after the balance was lost, the war had ended in the Umbra Witches' stable. Their victory was short-lived. Fearing the witch's dark abilities, humans began to condemn the remaining Umbra. They launched the witch hunts, rounding up the battle-weary witches with little resistance and subjugating those who wished to continue the struggle. Human faith in the miracles of their god pushed the witch hunts further, and soon the Umbra witches, keepers of the darkness, were extinguished from the earth. All but one.
John! I'm okay! Let's go! Just stay close to me!
Hello boys and girls, welcome to the performance section of the video. So as you can see on the eye settings, the performance is a little bit abysmal. Well, not really, but we can see that sometimes the game goes lower than 30 FPS, while on medium and low settings the performance is very similar on the intro section. Yes, there is some small advantage to the low settings, but the medium settings provide us maybe the better visuals and a good performance overall. As you can see on the prologue, the same goes with the averages. In fact, on the low settings, for some reasons, we got a lower minimums, which was weird. That might be a little bit of stuttering, I don't really know, but as you can see, low or medium, the performance is pretty much the same, while on the eye settings the performance is worse. So if I had to recommend the settings for you to play the game, I would say without doubt to go with the medium. Unfortunately, this game, well, it don't drop from the 30 FPS, but drops a lot from the 60. I would love to play Bayonetta in this laptop at 60, but unfortunately that is impossible. Not only because of the GPU usage that was hovering all over the place between the 80s and 99%, there is also another problem, which I believe that problem is related with the CPU. I believe that the game don't know how to make use of hyper-threading, and so it just uses the 2 cores of the Intel i5 and then starts to bottleneck a little bit the GPU. It's not that the GPU was able to get to the 60 FPS all the time, but surely having CPU bottleneck is not really a good help either. So if you have a 4GB version of your laptop, or let's imagine that your laptop have 4GB of RAM, there is no problem with this because the game only consumed 3GB of RAM for me. As for the VRAM, it was 400 MB, even with the textures on eye, which proves pretty much my point that you can use the textures on eye because this game doesn't really demand that much of VRAM. So you can enjoy eye textures, but if you want, you could disable all the other stuff if you want extra performance. But anyway, as you can see, since we have bottleneck, you can use at least HDR, you can use anisotropic filtering, and you can choose the shadows between the low or medium. Remember, anti-aliasing is not working by now, but even if it's working, don't use it. It's too much demanding for this laptop. So, with that, that's pretty much all that I want to talk about Bayonetta. Hope you enjoyed the video. I do hope to see you soon. Thank you much for watching, and goodbye.